Hello viewer, welcome to Elimu TV. This is Business Studies Form 1. Mrs. Mwangi taking you for the lesson. To confirm that you are in class with me, please SMS your name and the location you are watching us from to the number 21450. SMS your name, the location you are watching us from to the number 21450. In our lesson last time, we discussed about the external business environment and mentioned the factors that influence fall under the external business environment. Some of these included the socio-cultural environment, the competitive environment, the physical environment, natural environment, and the socio-cultural environment. In a continuation to this, we now move on to the internal business environment, where we talk about the internal business environment as also being referred to as the micro environment. The word micro here refers to a small area, so the factors are emanating from within the business, just within the business. Remember, we said with the macro environment, the factors come from a larger or wider area. With the internal business environment, the factors are just from within the business. And the business management may have control over the micro environment, where these factors are favorable. Where the factors are favorable, they present strengths for the business. Where the factors are unfavorable, these present weaknesses for the business. And the weaknesses may be addressed by the management for the better performance of a business. Let's come to the factors that comprise the internal business environment. We have quite a number of factors that comprise the internal business environment, where in the first place we have the workers. The workers, or employees, or the human resources in a business, play a very important role in the success of a business. When a business is recruiting the workers should have the relevant skills. They should also have knowledge for the job that they are meant to perform. And we also have their attitude. The attitude towards work can also influence the performance of a business, either positively or negatively. Where workers have the relevant skills, knowledge, and positive attitudes, they will contribute to the success of a business. The business will be profitable, the performance will be better. The other the other factor that comprise the internal business environment are the facilities of a business. And these refer to the physical resources in a business. What is included in this? We have facilities such as buildings. We have those properties that may be owned by the business, like vehicles. A business may require vehicles for the purpose of transporting raw materials into the factory or the organization. They could also require vehicles to transport their goods to the market. We could also have a situation where we require machines in a business, equipment, and tools to facilitate the execution of some of the activities in the business. The other and the third factor that comprise the internal business environment are the suppliers. Suppliers, and these are simply the people or firms. They could be firms, individuals, or other organizations who provide resources for the business to function properly. So these suppliers need to be reliable if a business is to do well. Otherwise, failure to deliver the supplies in good time may bring about stoppage of the production process. So suppliers should be reliable and also deliver the supplies in good time. The prices that they charge on goods is also something that should be addressed, in that when we have prices of goods that are high, when we have the raw materials or the supplies are highly priced, it means the manufacturer or the producer will incur high costs. And therefore, the final product will also be expensive when we come to the marketing price of the product. The producer will also sell expensively. And the disadvantage of this is that when you sell your product expensively, there will be a low market for this product because of the high price. So a business needs to look at suppliers who are fair in pricing, they are reliable, and also are able to deliver the supplies in good time so that it can perform well, it can function smoothly. Fourthly, we have the finances. Every business must have a way of financing their activities, because we require finance to finance business operations. Business operations must be financed. Business operations must be financed. We require finances to finance the raw materials that may be required by the business. These are also referred to as the inputs. So sources of finance that are reliable will contribute to a better performance. If the business has finance, then all their activities will run smoothly. However, we may have situations where a business may have inadequate. And in case of inadequacy, then you can resort to borrowing. Money can be borrowed, or finance can be borrowed from banks, where you repay at the agreed rate of interest. And you can also get finances by way of acquiring goods from suppliers who can give you the goods on credit. And this one leads us to the fifth factor that comprises the internal business environment, which is the availability of credit. Do we have suppliers who can lend you goods on credit so that they supply goods, but the payment is at a later date. Payment at a later date. And where creditors are willing to lend to the business, where a business has a source from where they can get goods on credit, this one is a strength because it results to a situation where the business can continue with their activities without having to get into a situation where they have to stop production because of lack of goods. So supplies can be acquired on credit. Availability of credit is a strength. It's a strength to the business. Then we have customers. These are very important for the success of a business because they provide a market for the goods. Market for the goods. For any business to succeed, for any business to make profits, then they must satisfy their customers. For you to retain your customers, they must be satisfied. So the interests of the customers must be looked into if a business is to do well. And how do you treat the customers in a fair way? It's in terms of providing quality goods, providing goods that are affordable to customers, and also supplying these goods at the time of need, at the time when the consumers need them, so that they can always acquire the goods when they require them. So if a business has a strong market, then it is going to do well. If the customers provide a favorable environment, then that business is going to do well. It's going to flourish. Whereas lack of customers may lead to a situation where the business is not doing well. The other internal business environment or factor that comprise the internal business environment are the marketing channels. So marketing channels are simply those firms or individuals that deal with the distribution of goods. After manufacturing the goods, in our previous topic, Introduction to Business Studies, we talked about distribution being a very important role in the chain of production. The chain of distribution of goods is very important that you, after production, you avail the goods to the consumer, and this can only be done by those who carry out the distribution work. So these are also referred to as the intermediaries that we have in production, and they include people such as retailers. We also have wholesalers. We also have the advertising agencies. Advertising agencies and others who will just transporters of goods from the point of production to the point where the consumer can easily access these goods. So we need distributors who can do their work in good time, so that the goods are availed in good time to the consumer. They also need to be reliable, that you can give an assurance, you can acquire these goods in good time and also be sure that they are available to the consumer. So a business that has reliable distributors or marketing channels will do well. It presents a favorable environment for the business, whereas Where the distributors are not reliable, then the business may not have their products available to the market in good time. So it will contribute to poor performance of the business. Then we have business structure. This is simply how the business is organized, or business organization. And by business structure or organization, we refer to how we have organized the various departments and the activities that they undertake. We have many departments in an organization. These include departments like production. We also have the marketing department. We have the finance department, administration, personnel, the personnel department, human resources. Although it will depend with the size of the organization, where you could have an organization with more departments or less number of departments. Each of these departments is independent, but the departments have to be coordinated. You have to coordinate all the activities, coordination of activities within the various departments, and so that the departments function in a harmonious way. There is harmony in all the departments for the achievement of the objectives of the firm. So where the departments are well coordinated, that one presents a strength for a business to do well. It is a favorable and a strong business. It contributes to business success. Then we have the owners of the business. The role of the owners is to provide capital or generally finance, to finance the various activities of this business. With a strong financial base, then there will be expansion of the business. It will be successful. However, where capital is lacking, where the owners are not in a position to provide the required capital, then the business may have problems financing their activities. However, the owners may also be involved in decision making. And this also has a great contribution in regard to the success of the business, in that poor decision making will result to poor performance of the business. Whereas, where we have decisions that are made carefully, then the business is bound to do well. We have learned about the internal business environment and mentioned some of the factors that comprise this environment, as the owners, the business culture, the business structure. We have also talked about the fact that we also have the marketing channels that are involved in the distribution of goods. And as an assignment, I would ask you, viewer, to explain how human resources influence the internal business environment. Look at that question, and we'll look at it when we meet next. our dear viewer, we have come to the end of our Form 1 Business Studies lesson today. For any questions on business, please, excuse me. For fingertips on business studies, send BST1 to 21126. SMS us through the number 21126. Thank you.